In accordance with Section 5, Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, be advised that the adequate notice of this work session regular meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, was made by the posting on the bulletin board at the municipal complex and transmitted to the officially designated newspapers a list of dates annually indicating that this work session regular meeting would take place in Franklin Municipal Complex at 7 o'clock on Tuesday at 9, on January 12th, 2016. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. Everyone will please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation by Deputy Mayor Chase.
Republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As we gather here today as members of the Township Council, we pray that we are ever mindful of opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and the community, keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas and on those things upon which future generations can build with confidence. Let us continue to strive to make a better world. Amen.
Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Deputy Mayor Chase.
Here.
Councilwoman Francois.
Here.
Mayor Kramer.
Here.
Councilman Prasad.
Here.
Councilwoman Robinson.
Here.
Councilwoman Sherman.
Here.
Councilman Vasanella.
Here.
Councilman Wright.
Here. I was wondering.
Okay. Anyone can pick up an agenda over on the counter. We are now to item number 5, commendations and proclamations. The first is 2015 Man of the Year, Lieutenant Russo. You're going to readjust that higher when you come up. Commendation. Whereas Lieutenant Darren Russo began his career with the Franklin Township Police Department in 1985, and throughout his tenure, he has served in many capacities, including patrol officer, detective, detective sergeant, and currently the day shift commander. And whereas Lieutenant Darren Russo of the Franklin Township Police Department has been named the Franklin Reporter and Advocate inaugural Man of the Year for 2015, and whereas his selection was based on his commitment to both the department and the community, as well as superior performance, hard work, enthusiasm, and dedication to duty, as well as his commitment to providing the best service to the residents of Franklin Township, and whereas on December 2nd, 2015, during an incident where he stopped an armed suspect wanted for car theft, Lieutenant Russo exhibited restraint and did not fire his weapon, and the suspect was subdued and arrested without tragic consequences. And whereas Lieutenant Russo goes above and beyond the call of duty, displaying the ability to fulfill the diverse and numerous expectations of a police officer and is a tremendous asset to the Franklin Township Police Department. Therefore, I, Philip Kramer, Mayor of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, on behalf of the Township Council and the citizens of the Township of Franklin, express sincere congratulations to Lieutenant Darren Russo on the occasion of being chosen Franklin Reporter and Advocate's inaugural Man of the Year of 2015. Be it further resolved that the Mayor and Council commends Lieutenant Russo for his dedication and commitment to providing the best possible service to the citizens of Franklin Township and his fellow officers. Before I give the opportunity for Lieutenant Russo to speak, I want to tell a little story about him where I began to realize what kind of police officer he was. I've done a few ride-alongs with the police officers, and on my first one, a handicapped person was lost in town, and a call went out to the police, and I could hear over the radio that all the police cars were out searching, and the car I was in was out searching, and we were looking, and it was a cold night, and we were looking and going through parks and shining the spotlights everywhere, and no one could find them, and then we hear a call that Lieutenant Russo has found him, and where we found him was Dunkin' Donuts. Now, you might laugh and think, well, the lieutenant was on a break, but no. When I asked him, I said, how did you figure this out? And he said, it was a cold night. Where's the guy going to go? And that's the kind of police work and thinking that it took, that we could have spent the whole night looking for this person, and just this one little thought really kind of turned a kind of a desperate story into a happy ending. So I was impressed with him right there and then, and I'm also impressed that he didn't get here on his own. He is an example of an exemplary police force. You know, look around. There's a lot of uniforms in this room here because they are proud of him, and they are proud of the accomplishments of the police force, and they are here to represent the police force, and that comes from leadership from the top. And we often mention how we have the best chief in New Jersey, and this is an example of what that can produce. So thank you, Lieutenant Russo.
I do not go to Dunkin' Donuts that much. I just happened to be stopping in there for a coffee. It was cold out. The mayor did say quite a lot of what I was going to say. Kind of takes the pressure off me, I guess. I really just want to say thank you. Thank you to the mayor and the council. I appreciate it. I am honored to be selected as, Man of the Year. I want to say thank you to Bill from the Reporter, the Franklin Reporter, and to my chief and to my deputy chief who's in the back. Thank you. As he said, I've been an officer for 30 years with the Franklin Police Department, and I've had a lot of close calls. Had a lot of fun. I just want to continue. I'm not leaving. I'm just saying. I've been lucky with quite a few of them. I'm not leaving. And I've been lucky also to work with a lot of surrounding towns. And coming back to Franklin, I think I've even been luckier to work with the best police department in the state, like the mayor said. And that we are. We have a great police department. It really is an honor also to work with the dedicated officers. We are 100+ officers, and we're second to none. And, we get out there. He said, well, I was in the Detective Bureau and the Street Crime Unit and Patrol now. We work as a family, like a second family. And I've always, we've always had each other's back, and we've always supported each other, and we've always made sure that we all go home at night. And one of the biggest things is supporting each other, working together for the citizens to keep you guys safe and keep the streets safe out there. So, I think there's a lot of officers that are here. There's a lot of officers that work in this police department that, can be standing up here and deserve this award also. I kind of accept it for everybody. It's a team effort, and support. The job's not easy. Under the current climate out there, some of the things that are going on, the bashing cops, it seems kind of cool. They hate cops sometimes, attacking cops. I think it's important when you have your local media and your politics kind of coming together, supporting the police. And that's what it takes. That's what we need. We need to support. We need positive talk. It goes a long way. And, over the years, there's been ups and downs in this profession. I've dealt with it for 30 years. And support and positive talk, like I said, it goes a long way, and it turns things around. I think people just need to see the overwhelming good that the police do. I think people need to see day to day the dangers that we do face. I think you need to see and realize the split-second decisions that we do make, out there on the street. But it really doesn't stop right here. One of my main focuses, for making it 30 years here is support that I have for my family. And, starting right from my parents to my brothers and sisters and my kids. I have 5 boys right in the town, going to the schools and everything. But most importantly, to my wife, standing over in the corner trying to hide. There's a person that's never wavered in her support for me. She's always remained positive. The long days and nights and the weekends and holidays that we all work, she's been there supporting me, getting me through. Stop it. Get me through a lot of tough situations. So with that, just like I said, it's not an easy job. Everybody makes it easier to help you by being supportive and being out there for us, and we do appreciate it. Thank you.
Got to say, Darren, that was pretty good. I guess when you do retire, you're going to go into politics. But I first want to start by thanking the mayor and the council for recognizing Darren on his achievements, and Bill, of course, from the Franklin Reporter for taking the time to recognize his achievements too and giving him the Man of the Year award. I have known Darren over 30 years, and he is a lieutenant. He does supervise day shift, and he leads by example. And all through his career, you have officers that really are go-getters, and Darren's one of those officers that exemplifies going out there and doing the job, and he's been in a lot of different roles, whether it was the street crime unit, the detective bureau, the patrol division, and he always led by example. And, as you move on in your career and you go further, you see when you move up that you always need that person to look up to. And as you look in the back of the room, there are a lot of senior officers back there, whether they have rank or they don't have rank. You could look up to them, and they've done the job, and they've walked in those shoes, so they know what it's like. And, as the chief here, I do pride myself on having the most professional police department in the state of New Jersey. And it starts with the men and women in the back of the room. They're the ones that go out there every day, that deal with the public, and especially here in Franklin, they take seriously working with the public. In a lot of communities, unfortunately, you see it now, it's an us versus you. It's not like that here. It's what can we do as a team, and the easiest way to get the job done at the end of the day is to work with your citizens. If you work with your citizens and your work is one, and there's that trust, I always say that, the trust between one another, you will be able to get the job done. As far as Darren, I congratulate you. You do lead by example. This is well-deserving, and I like the way you said you accepted on behalf of everybody in the police department, because there are a lot of individuals in that building that could get the Officer of the Year award, because there are a lot of individuals that I am very, very, very proud of in that building. Now, I will end on a lighter note. For some of you that don't know Darren, on a lighter note, he has a dynamic personality. So if you ever want to ask him how good he is, just ask him. He will be more than happy to tell you how good and great he is. But no, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Again, I want to thank the mayor and the council, and thank you.
Congratulations.
The next item on the agenda is accommodation for pop water presented by Councilman Wright.
The mayor signed them all, right? There we go. I'm going to make this short and sweet. We have some ladies over there that went to Florida, took on the nation, and came home winners. Now, we have some other winners. Team over here. What you got? Junior Pee Wees. Just to give you a little backdrop, my daughter was a cheerleader when the. Nah, I didn't go nowhere near them. We had the Junior Pee Wee squad, and they went down to Florida. Junior Pee Wee squad. And my daughter went as a cheerleader. Cost me a
1991.
fortune. But she came back and told me she had a good time. And I know these ladies over there had a good time. Okay? Now, what I would like to do, is my president here yet? Stan, come on over here, man. This is Stan. Stan was the president of Franklin Township Pop Warner football. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is do this in maybe 2 or 3 parts. The first part, had to write this down. Introduce Stan, my president. Introduce our cheer director. Read the citation. And I understand the cheerleading squad has a cheer for us. And then we're going to end this up, okay? So, Stan, if you say a couple words for us, please.
Yeah, just real quick. So, good evening, everyone. Congratulations, Lieutenant and Chief. But just quick, brief backdrop for the cheerleaders. They won region, they won Central Jersey, they won state, they won regions, and like Councilman said, they went to Florida and they won nationals. This is the first for Franklin Township Pop Warner. I do believe it's the first time we've actually ever sent the cheer team down to Florida, and obviously the first time we ever won it. So this is huge for the program, huge for the cheer program, which has been getting better every year since we've had new leadership. So I'm really proud of that group. So can we just give them a quick. And again, I think we got video of the cheer. They had an excellent performance. Like I said, they hands down. They are the national champs at that level in that division. We also have our Pee Wee football team. They won Central Jersey this year, but not to go back in the past, but I got to give some history. I mean, at that level, we've won Central Jersey pretty much every year. Last year, they won states, and they were regional finals. So they were 1 game away from going to Florida last year. So congratulate that staff and that team. Franklin Pop Warner, traditionally and historically has, New Jersey's Central Jersey champs every year. So moving for the 2016 season, we do have a new president. I would invite all of you out on Sundays starting at 9 o'clock, okay, Middle Bush Park. Come out here and support your Pop Warner and your cheer program, okay, because it's one of the best in Central Jersey. It is the best in Central Jersey. Central Jersey will tell you that yourselves. All right? Anything else? Thank you.
Stan, thank you very much. And I want to bring up our cheer director. Is she here today? I see movement over there. Come on up. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. The girls did an excellent job. I'm so proud of them. The coaches were great. I want to thank everyone that participated. We were out doing canning drives in the area, and a lot of people did donate, and we want to thank you all that did donate to us. We went to Florida, and we had an amazing time. We went to Wide World of Sports, ESPN. That's where the competition was held, and it was just a very great night. Just to give some background, our cheer program has been winning Central Jersey for a while now. Central Jersey was not the problem. This year we made it through Central Jersey first place, regionals first place, nationals first place. Amazing, just a sweep of a year for us. 2015 was our year.
Don't go nowhere. What I'm going to do is read one proclamation, and our cheer director will bring up everyone one by one, and then everyone gets to do a cheer, because I want all of you to come up, and she's just going to pick you out the crowd right quick, because I think it's noteworthy that we pick them all out, because this way you know exactly who they are, and you know exactly what they did. Because by bringing them up in mass, nobody gets recognition. Okay, here we go. Where's the mayor? I lost the mayor. Franklin Township, come on up. Whereas the Franklin Township Pop Warner midget level cheer team became the 2015 Midget Medium PW1 Pop Warner National Champion on December the 8th, 2015 at Disney's ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex in Orlando, Florida. And whereas the team consists of the following members, hold that thought, whereas the Franklin Township Pop Warner organization and the Township of Franklin recognizes their immeasurable contributions of the cheer director, Mary Butts, head coach, Holloman, assistant coaches, Braxton, Holdeman McBride, Dorothy Cruz, business manager, Dukes, and the team parent, Lanisha, for unwavering dedication to teaching youth the art and execution of cheerleading, and for selflessly volunteering endless hours educating them in the value of physical fitness and worthwhile pastimes. Therefore, we, Councilman Carl Wright, Mayor Phyllis Kramer, and the Township Council do hereby thank and congratulate the coaches for their tireless dedication and the members of the Franklin Township Midget Cheerleaders, the honor they have bestowed upon themselves, their families, and their community. Now, I saved the piece out the middle, and that was bringing up the cheer team, okay? Now, we're going to bring the cheer team up, Coach, and you're going to recognize everybody, bring them on up, and say their names, and we're going to go from there. And I understand they have a quickie cheer for us right quick, okay?
I'm going to call up the coaching staff first. Head coach, Mawia Hollyman. Assistant coach, Fatima Braxton. Earth Hollyman McBride. Trinisha Semester. Dorothy Cruz. Business manager, Arlene Dukes. And team parent, Lanika Sass-Levine. Ashley. Madeline Aguilar. Shayla Anderson. Kayla Beverly. Janiyah Burney. Kayla Cross. Vera Cruz. Sierra Dukes. Malia Fag Davies. Jakira Faison. Elise Jones. Asia Jones. Morgan Jones, Samaya Reed, Ariana Richards, Imani Sharif, Kamora Smith, and Simona Washington.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I would be remiss if I did this. This is their trophy. They went down to Florida and picked up. That's the hard one. Now, finish up. Where my chair at? Where my chair at? They gonna give me a chair? I think we got a cheer coming up, so let me hear the cheer. Okay. We done? Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Lady, come on back here. I missed my shot. Come on. Everybody take this shot with me, okay? Come on up in here. Yeah, slide around here. behind the table. Everybody behind the table. You know I gotta get that shot. Come on, man. Let's get up in there.
And if you are interested in seeing their national performance, we will have it on our Pop Warner website within the week, ftpw.org.
In the middle now. I'm in the middle now. Come on. Come on. Now fill it in. Fill it in. Come on.
And on our Facebook page.
Now remember, this is the good side,
I don't
okay?
think they'll see through the picture will see through.
How come I'm the same height as all of them?
Thank you, ladies.
Have you ever had a problem with your dad before? Cool.
Councilman Prasad will be presenting the next commendation to Ayush Mukherjee, Franklin Township, or in regards to the Franklin Township Food Bank. So I see food bankers here.
Parents should come up here too. Yeah. So. Now this is a commendation. We talk about, being our brother's keeper, but it is a hardship that really makes us realize how tough life can get. And having gone through that hardship, we saw that young man, was inspired to do something for the food bank. And so here's the commendation, and this is our young man, Ayush Mukherjee, who did that. So the commendation reads, yeah, and he had a lot of help from his brother and, of course, the older folks that matched everything that they did. So the commendation reads, whereas Ayush Mukherjee and his family experienced hardships that resulted in the need of the Franklin Township Food Bank, and whereas Ayush expressed his gratitude by paying it forward, being instrumental in getting his brother and friends to assist in raising approximately $300 to be donated to the Franklin Township Food Bank, and whereas the members of the Adyapith USA Temple matched this donation, resulting in a donation of a total of $1,000, and therefore, we, Rajiv Prasad, Councilman, and Philip Kramer, Mayor of the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, on behalf of the Township Council, do hereby recognize with respect and gratitude to Ayush Mukherjee, his family, friends, and to the members of the Adyapith USA Temple for putting the needs of those less fortunate ahead of themselves and for their outstanding contribution to the community and the Franklin Township Food Bank. Now, firstly, I want to thank him, but more importantly, let this be an example for all of us to be our brother's keepers and try to help out with the food bank. And I urge all houses of worship to get their groups together and try to support our food bank and our less fortunate people who have fallen on hard times. Everybody needs help sometime or the other, so let's try to do that as a community. And I would invite our head of the food bank to say a few words, and of course Nancy LaCourte, who are both very committed to the food bank. So please, both of you, come on up and say a few words about the food bank and the need.
Thank you, everybody. Again, I'm Frank Hasner. I'm the executive director of the Franklin Food Bank. The Franklin Food Bank is your food bank. It's not the towns, it's not the governments. They help us, they're helping us right now, but the food bank is everybody. And again, if you want a great example, a young man came into my office doing a school project. How many folks do a school project? And I made him work a little bit, and he did a great paper. He did well on it, but he didn't stop there. He could have been done, but what he did was go further, take it to his house of worship, and make it work, and convince the adults what the youth know to help their neighbors. So I really thank him for that. And again, as Councilman Prasad said, it's an example. We can all help. It is our food bank. You know, we're supported almost 100% by donations to the public. So thank you, and thank you, and keep on supporting us and helping our neighbors. Thank you.
Ayush, you want to say something? Come on up. Yeah, come on up. Say something.
Well, I'd like to thank for Ms. Nancy LaCourte and Mr. Frank Hasner for actually inspiring me to do the whole project. I wouldn't have actually done anything if it weren't for them. And yeah.
This is Avjit Dasgupta, president of the Adyapith USA Temple, which is across the street from the Taco Bell on Eastern Avenue.
Great way of segue, right? Well, I have to thank the council, Mayor Kramer and Rajiv, for being, a big helping hand, encouraging us, and especially recognizing these kids, and also giving us the inspiration to keep moving forward with these sort of youth activities. Thank you all for coming by.
Here's the commendation. You want to take a picture? You want a picture with them? You guys got a picture? Okay. No, please, come on. We need you. You're the inspiration.
Thank you. Next, Deputy Mayor Chase will be presenting an award to Arnold Verdick, former Environmental Commission Chairman.
Arnold is retiring as chair of the Environmental Commission, although he's staying on the commission after 8 years of service as chair, which is a good deal longer than any other chair in my memory, and I've been associated with the Environmental Commission since 1996, and he's done a signal job and getting us to do things and getting programs put on. And our commendation here is, whereas Arnold Vernick has been a member of the Environmental Commission since 2006 and its chairman from 2008 through 2015, and whereas Arnold Vernick has always been willing to place his concern for the public good ahead of his personal interests and thus has earned the admiration and high regard of other civic leaders and the affection of a host of area residents, particularly all the members of the Environmental Commission. Whereas if there is one characteristic that distinguished Arnold's career as a public service servant, it is his enormous capacity for hard work. And whereas Arnold has demonstrated in many practical ways his deep and genuine love for our community and the surrounding area, now therefore be it resolved that we, Deputy Mayor Theodore Chase and Mayor Philip Kramer, on behalf of the Township Council and along with the Franklin Township Environmental Commission, express our sincere appreciation and thanks to Arnold Vernick for his distinguished service to the community and highly commend him for the manner in which he has carried out his duties and responsibilities as chairman to the Environmental Commission. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All I can say, it was totally unexpected and very much appreciated. I know I had some tough acts to follow here, so I won't take any more of your time, but thank you. Appreciate it.
Councilman Jim Vasanello will now present a proclamation for the 50th anniversary of St. Matthias.
Okay, hard act to follow. Anybody tuning in tonight is going to really think we have a heck of a town, which we do. So all these commendations and proclamations are important, extremely important. This one happens to be extra important to me. We have great learning institutions in our town, and we have a wonderful public school system. But we also have some learning institutions that aren't always out there in the public eye as much as our public schools. And tonight we're here to acknowledge one of those, and that's St. Matthias. St. Matthias, obviously, if we're celebrating their 50th, they've been here 50 years. But their work goes far beyond just teaching children. I'm a graduate of St. Matthias. My three sisters are graduates of St. Matthias. A lot of my friends are graduates of St. Matthias, and a lot of people that still live in this town today are graduates of St. Matthias. So I'm going to read this proclamation here. And we have some representatives from St. Matthias, Principal Sister Jean, Development Coordinator Beth Rowan Lubowicki. Anyone else connected with the school, please come up here. I'm going to read a commendation. And anybody who doesn't know, St. Matthias is on JFK Boulevard and has been there for the 50 years. We were here a few years ago celebrating the 50th anniversary of the church. And it's my honor and privilege to be able to now acknowledge this school. Whereas St. Matthias School is celebrating its 50th year legacy of education and contribution to the community. Whereas the original school opened its doors on September 8th, 1965 to 350 students in grades 1 through 4 with the intent of adding another grade each year. And whereas today there are 570 children, grades pre-K to 8th grade at St. Matthias, learning in an atmosphere of faith, caring, and excellence. And whereas in 2001, St. Matthias School was the only Catholic elementary school in the state of New Jersey to be named a National Blue Ribbon School of Excellence, the highest honor a school can receive from the U.S. Department of Education. And whereas the faculty, parents, and community of St. Matthias are committed to increasing the emotional well-being and the academic achievement of all students while viewing its diversity as a unique opportunity and strength that enriches and broadens the educational experience of all students. Therefore, resolved that we, Councilman James Vasanella and Mayor Phil Kramer, on behalf of the entire Township Council of the Township of Franklin and its citizens, does hereby express congratulations to the St. Matthias School in commemoration of its 50th anniversary celebration and its legacy of education and commitment to the community. I see my son snuck up here also. He's in 5th grade there. Sister, would you like to come and please say a couple words? Oh, you're welcome.
Jim's words really touched my heart, and on behalf of the Catholic community of St. Matthias, and the school. Our student council officers, Matthew, Bianca, Krista, and Trish, are here to accept that award, and also Dalton, one of our future council members. We thank you for this honor and joining us in celebrating this auspicious occasion in the history of our institution. You may have heard that it takes a village to raise a child. It takes more than a township and a parish to raise a school. And I must say that I'm proud of our one and only Jim Vassanella, who serves not only the township, but serves in many ways at St. Matthias School. And he didn't pay me to say that, I can tell you that. And Pat O'Connell, a former council member, is also an alum. And as the children will tell you, when they leave the school, I say, remember, no matter where you go, you represent. They know that. And these children before you will be your servants. They will be council members and probably beyond that to the state level, maybe even the country level, because they are gifted and they are formed as disciples and citizens, yes, on JFK Boulevard. They make us proud, and you have made us happy. So thank you for this award, this proclamation, and we will display it proudly down at St. Matthias. And on behalf, again, of St. Matthias School, the Catholic community of St. Matthias, and Father Doug, thank you.
Beth, would you like to come up and please, after you take a picture? I guess she's not coming up. Beth, come on up. Beth's is very involved in the school, and her and several of her siblings were also alumni back in the day. Not as old as me and my time there, but I thought she might want to say a couple words about the importance of St. Matthias to the community of Franklin Township.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. St. Matthias has been a part of my life forever. I was born in 1965 in this town when St. Matthias started. So I work currently now doing marketing and development for the school. And I think it is a very vibrant and powerful part of our community. I thank you for your support and encourage you to learn more about our school. I think that our students are taught at a very young age to care for their neighbors. As you saw, some people here tonight being commended for that as well. So I just want to say thank you very much for the opportunity and the honor.
That's being modest. And Mayor Kramer, would you like to say a few words? Oh, okay, he's done. We're all done. But that's being modest. People like myself, we do a minuscule amount. It's a group effort, but it's really the people that work there full-time and people who volunteer, some of them almost full-time, and myself and others just do a very minuscule amount. But thank you very much, and happy anniversary to the whole St. Matthias community, and thank you.
Before we get to the next item on the agenda, I would like to amend the agenda to council discussion items, add C, mayor's appointments. Robert's Rules of Orders does not let the chairman make a motion, so if anyone else would want to make that motion.
I'll move that motion, Mayor.
Seconded.
So moved and seconded to amend the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next item is public discussion. And for public discussion, anyone is allowed to come up to discuss anything they wish about government. They give their name and address, and they will be accorded 5 minutes. No coming up twice, no yielding of time to another person. Do I have a motion to open for public discussion?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion about public discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Public discussion is open. Please come up and maybe, Mr. Vornlocker, you could turn the podium around. And anyone wishing to come up, please come up, state your name and address.
Part of the manager's responsibilities.
Mr. Vornlocker.
Yes, I would like. Oh, you don't want to hear what I have to say.
No comment.
Nobody wants to come in?
See.
Here comes
Oh,
Bob Medler.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mr. Metler.
Oh.
Former Councilman Metler, Deputy Mayor Metler? Mayor Metler?
Yeah.
Mayor Metler?
Planning board member, Matt?
Planning board member?
Township historian?
Redevelopment?
You're,
I'm sorry, your time is up.
okay. I know I have to do this. You've already said my name, but still, Robert Metler, 2303 Amwell Road, East Millstone, New Jersey, which is part of Franklin Township. I was here at reorganization, and I didn't come up to say anything because I really thought that was a great day for the people who got elected to celebrate. And so I belatedly give my congratulations to the mayor, to the deputy mayor, and to those who were elected. And the only thought I had watching that ceremony was there was a lot of exuberance, and one of the people who was a bit exuberant, I thought, was the Democratic county chairman, because she made the one comment, well, now you don't have to worry about being bipartisan. And in a narrow sense, that is true. But as we all know, the largest group of voters in the township of Franklin are unaffiliated. They belong to no party. Then second comes the Democratic Party. And thirdly, the grand old party, which is no longer probably large enough to be symbolized by the elephant that Thomas Nast gave it in the 19th century as a symbol. But in the governance of the township, I hope that you will be, if not bipartisan, totally nonpartisan, because you will be representing us all, which is why I am very sincere when I say good luck to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Metler. Those words are most appropriate. I would also like to say when I first got onto council, Mr. Metler gave me a piece of advice. Never abstain on a vote. You will just upset both sides. And I have kept that piece of advice to this day. So thank you, Mr. Metler, for that piece of advice and this piece of advice. Yes, sir.
Johnny, it's Tibbs, 25 Parkside. I, too, commend Mr. Bob Metler, which is a gentleman and always has been a gentleman and a scholar in this township, and I applaud him. And, Bob, I will do whatever you said. Oh, what Bob? Don't worry, I'll look at it. I'll take you. You're right. But, I had to say a couple comments. I just want to commend the Pop Warner cheerleading team. It makes me feel good that anybody wins anything from Franklin Township makes me feel proud. And I commend all the cheerleaders, the squadron, the supervisors and so forth within that whole group. I also would like to thank, I want to thank Mr. Bernick because I wanted him, I was hoping he was still here, Chairman of the Environmental Commission, because he had set forth some of the standards that we were doing in the name of Williams Park, the garden and so forth, along with Councilor Ted Chase, Deputy Mayor Ted Chase. And I want to commend him that hopefully we will carry on the same program that he had pretty much was chairman of in terms of the whole garden projects that we have throughout the township. I also want to thank the St. Matthias people. I wanted to tell them that I look forward every year because that whole church, St. Matthias Church, is one of the primary sponsors of sponsoring some of the lower economic strata kids to celebrate in terms of the carnival and so forth. So I want them to know that we really appreciate the work that they do towards the other poor kids in the neighborhoods. And that was about it. And I want to tell Mr. Bob Mettler that I also will be along with him in terms of you guys serving the whole community, and I know that you will, and I know that you do a good job. And thank you very much.
Would anyone else like to come up?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mabel Lorenza, and I have been a resident of Somerset
Address,
since 1978.
Address, please.
108 Drake Road, Somerset, New Jersey. And I'm a parent of 4 kids that went to St. Matthias. I'm a member of St. Matthias since 1978. And my kids went to St. Matthias School. I'm a Eucharistic minister at St. Matthias. And I'm really, really grateful in one thing, what happened last Saturday. For the first time, the West African population has been recognized. And to be in a community since 78 and got recognition only 2 days ago is an achievement. Because not only am I a resident of Somerset, I could proudly boast that I own the first black pharmacy in Somerset. And I will also say that I own the first mall owned by a black woman in Somerset. And I have raised 4 terrific kids in Somerset. Somerset has been a second home for us, even though we are Nigerians. I'm Igbo woman. And if you know a little bit about Igbos, we don't take back seat. And most of you may know my stories, but you may not know me. But I am here to congratulate Mayor Kramer for making efforts to recognize West Africans, and I appreciate that.
Would anyone else like to speak?
Scott Siegel, 2301 Avery Court. Mayor, members of the council, Happy New Year, everybody. Last meeting I was talking about Grow New Jersey and was able to meet with the town manager today. Very nice discussion about that as well as economic growth that we could possibly do for this area. And we are eligible for basic eligibility. If you go to Grow New Jersey and you scroll to the bottom of the page and you click on mapping tools, it'll take you to a blank map of the state. When you click on basic eligibility, you'll see that a basically red colored spine right through the center of the state will come up all the way from Bergen to Salem. And if you click on the local towns in Franklin, you'll see we're the same red area. And if you look at the 4 wealthiest counties, take Huntington out because it's the highest tax county in the country, so they really don't do much growth, I guess. But Morris County has 9 projects, also in this red area. Most of them fall in the priority area. Somerset County has 3 projects, all in Bridgewater. Again, the same red area as us, also priority area. Bergen County has 9, the vast majority, again, the priority area. Now, the town manager was correct in saying that we can't get the projects approved. It's done on a state level. He's absolutely correct about that. But if you look at news articles about the companies moving in or out of the state, you find that the city itself is commenting to either keep the company in or congratulating the company for moving in. And last time I mentioned MetLife, and looked at about half a dozen articles, not one of them said anything about the city being involved in either trying to keep them in there, trying to get the other 5 different states to move in. And I think we need to be very proactive in this and let people know that we want companies to move in here, want companies to stay here, and this program is available. MetLife, just for example, they could have gotten between $43 to $48 million from Grow New Jersey. And instead, they're paying $25 million to move to North Carolina. And if the township would point this out, and most of them, they know it. Would it have worked? I don't know. Probably not. They probably want to go to a lower cost area. But at least this town can voice support for our trying to keep companies here and bring companies in. The other thing, can I comment on a resolution tonight, or do I have to wait for resolutions?
You can count on a resolution.
Okay. Yeah, Resolution W about the stamp machine. I don't know if the townships could take use of it, but if we can, did anybody look at stamps.com?
We have to run the thousands and thousands and thousands of things through the meter to it's metered mail. So, I mean, just think of 28,000 lines as far as our tax bills are concerned, and water bills and all those things. This isn't a matter of, this is required by the post office. We have to run them through the meter and
You have to run through that one. You can't do stamps.com.
No.
Make money on it, no. Okay. All right. I don't know, because you can load the database into it, but if we can't do it, we can't do that. All right, thank you. Have a good night.
He's really searching hard.
Good evening, all. My name is John Okoye. I reside on 8 Surrey Road in Somerset, New Jersey. I've been here since 1991. I just want to use this opportunity to congratulate all of you guys that just got in there, especially Mayor Kramer and the new and the existing council people. I'm sure a lot of you know very well the struggle over the post office that was closed on Franklin Boulevard. I was the one that opened up one there that serves that need in town. And so gladly, most of the seniors that don't have the opportunity or the capability of going up to the post office on Demont Lane walk into my place, and will proudly help them and will continue to help them. Been in the township, raised 4 kids here, love it here, want to remain here. Just want to ask you guys to continue remembering the businesses on Hamilton Street while we struggle to grow. Thank you again, and congratulations.
Anyone else?
Seeing no one come forward, Mayor, I motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Public discussion is closed. Time for council comments. I will start down, giving Mr. Wright the honor.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes,
I
sir.
have no comments except to say cheerleaders. Franklin Township Pop Warner cheerleaders. Oh, no, Bob, I'm not looking down that far. Okay. Oh, you want me to do it now?
Well, I thought you
Okay, I'll do
you
it now.
teed it up that you were going to ask me questions. I have the answers, so I figured you wanted to ask them.
Well, you know, I was so happy about the cheerleaders, and I just totally forgot. We have 2 projects on tap that are moving forward, and I would like our township manager to just give a little word on where we're going. One is our concession stand, and one is the music sound system at Middlebush Park here in town. So I was wondering if the manager could just give us a brief update so we can move forward on those programs.
Sure. As far as the concession stand, it was included in the original plans for the park, and the original plans came in far over what was budgeted, and we've gone back to the drawing board, and I now have what I believe is a set of plans for a prefabricated building that we can go out to bid for, And at this point, the estimates are within the budget constraints that were put on the project back when the park was, the last phase of the park was approved several years ago. So that's ready to go out to bid, and I really, at this point, at our next land use meeting, it'll be discussed, and then we'll just move it forward as long as everyone's on the same page. As far as the sound system is concerned, we actually did go out to bid for the sound system, and once the bid specifications were out, then Councilman and now Mayor Kramer had raised some questions with me about the bid, some of the specifications. It's a performance bid specification, so that we were making the company who would be the one that was awarded the bid meet certain criteria for the sound system. And given his questions, I went back to Dr. Eric Zwirling. If some of you may remember, he was the professor from Rutgers who came and spoke to all of us about sound. And he agreed with the mayor and said, yes, Mayor, he said, you were right, and I can say that. And that we should consider rejecting the bids and go back out to bid again with new specifications. Now, what I will tell you is that I am awaiting a response back from Dr. Zwirling about what those specifications should be. He said that our level was too low. However, what the appropriate level would be is something that he wanted to consult with his colleagues on. So I'm awaiting a response back to him. Once I get that response back, we'll redo the bid specifications, and then we can go forward with it on a request for bids and an award. So that's where we're at with those two projects.
And just a quick question. Nothing will affect the timing of having the sound system?
No, you're talking about having a sound system for this upcoming year? No, absolutely not. I mean, I anticipate within a week or two, Dr. Zwirling getting back to me. I spoke with him just before the holidays, and he asked for some time given the holidays. And so once I get that, and it's a relatively quick process to award the bid once we go out with the specifications.
I didn't understand that last piece.
Asking, would we have it in time?
Back that up. About the sound system, I didn't
I wanted to
understand
make
how
sure
that.
that it would be here in time for you this
No.
evening.
No.
Oh,
The township manager's coming
Yes.
through what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What?
Are you saying that, and I didn't get the memo, so I could be wrong.
Okay.
Why was it refused?
We chose to reject the bid because the volume level, the sound, the decibel level that we had in the bid specification, according to Mr. Zwirling, was too low.
No.
That it should be higher.
No. Go back further than that. Unless I missed something, are you saying that, and I might be wrong with this, but someone up here asked about that and it was changed or something?
So
did I miss that vote? Or?
So the sound level that was to be heard was questioned by the councilman as to whether or not that was sufficient. Should it be higher than what it was? That you would not be, he felt you would not be able to hear it in the stands. So I went back to the person who we had come in and talk to us, and he said, your councilman is right. It should be higher. That's not loud enough to be heard in the stands. So we wanted to make sure that it would be heard. It's kind of pointless to have a sound system that you can't hear. So we rejected the bids, and we're going to make it so that it's more appropriate.
I thank you very much. I got that hearing loss, and I want to make sure I was on the same page.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Robinson, Councilwoman Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations to all who received commendations this afternoon. As a former Pop Warner cheer parent and cheerleading coach, I have a special place in my heart for the cheerleaders. And for those of you who reject the fact that cheerleading is a sport, cheerleading is a sport. So again, congratulations to the Pop Warner cheerleaders. Also to Mr. Metler, or Mayor Metler, your comment in regards to being nonpartisan. I'm a firm believer that the taxpayers' dollars are neither Democrat or Republican. I make sure that I will do my best to make sure that we're taking care of the citizens of Franklin. And thank you for your words of encouragement. I think we also need to take note and follow the lead of the young people, as Ayush was commended this afternoon for his efforts in working with the food bank. You train up the child, but sometimes right now, the adults, I think we need to follow the lead of our children. And they are our future. And to get some things moving, get some things done for resolve and resolution in a civil manner, sometimes we need to follow the lead of our children. Other than that, I have no other comments, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Councilwoman Robinson. Councilman Prasad.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As Councilwoman Robinson said, congratulations to all the winners, especially Lieutenant Russo and the Chief for all that they do. We thank them for all their efforts. And of course, the cheerleaders, and Mr. Wernick, and particularly St. Matthias, which has a special place in my heart as a gratitude for the Catholic education I got in India. And back then, when JFK got elected president, it was a huge celebration in the Catholic community there. And he was an inspiration to me to come to the U.S. So I'm grateful for the best quality education that we could get in India with the Catholic community. And speaking of that, 50 years ago, though overshadowed by Vietnam and everything else, but President Johnson actually signed the Medicare bill, the Civil Rights Bill, the Voting Rights Bill, and the Immigration Act that opened up the immigration to all people from around the world. And all of you that are here from the rest of the world were recipients and beneficiaries of that one act in 1965. So President Johnson did a lot of good with that, and especially the Medicare that all the seniors enjoy. So those are things that are there. Now, to comment on Mr. Medler, I agree with you, and you will have my support. I don't look for who I'm helping. I'm here to serve all of Franklin, and so that you have my commitment on. And Mr. Tibbs, you can hold my feet to the fire anytime. But beyond that, Mr. Okoya, thank you. I was involved with the post office issue, and thank you for setting up the satellite station to help people in that area. I, for one, was the one who used to use the Franklin Boulevard post office and was personally affected. It was in my neighborhood. But so thank you, and thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Prasad. Councilman Basanella.
Thank you, Mayor. So it may sound repetitive, but I feel it's needed. Mr. Metler, I've always looked at you as an ambassador of bipartisanship, or I should say nonpartisanship. So your words were eloquent, and I am right in line, as I think everyone up here is, in the spirit of what you said. Sometimes people say things in fun, and perhaps they're misinterpreted. I can't speak for others, but I think we all are dedicated to that spirit of nonpartisanship. And also, there was a lot of proclamations, commendations, and I thank people for sitting through them. And I think it's a tribute to this town. And I'm sitting up here remembering 50 years ago, because I'm a little older than 50, how this town was. And it may be different cultures, different people, different successes, different failures, but the reality of it is, in a lot of ways, it's the same. This town is really a coming together of so many people that just really seem to want to do good by each other and for each other. And it's heartwarming, and I don't usually go in this direction up here, but when I look at the police and the Pop Warner and that young fellow who understands now what it's like to be hungry, or how important it is to help those that are hungry. And Arnold Vernick, who I think he left, but before Councilman Chase was the Environmental Commission liaison, I was, and it was a group that, as dedicated as they were, they needed leadership, and he stepped up. And you know, we don't always see and acknowledge all those civilian representatives who really have such an impact on this town and this council. And of course, St. Matthias, which is a place in my heart. So we all may have our organizations and affiliations and groups that we gravitate towards and have been involved with for years and even in some cases our entire lives, but we never, we all support everyone, and I just want to say that. And I look forward to having more groups come up here and be acknowledged for such important, monumental accomplishments, because that's the glue that's going to hold this town together. And I just thank everyone out there for being part of this town. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Vasanella. Councilwoman Francois.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to commend our police chief and the wonderful police department we have here in Franklin Township, and in particular, Lieutenant Darren Russo. Everywhere I go, I tell people we have the best police department in the state of New Jersey, and I think we should give them another round of applause. I'm very, very proud of our young ladies, the Pop Warner Midget level cheer team. That's very, very, very invigorating to see the young ladies doing so well in our community and representing us so well. As far as St. Matthias, it's been a pillar here in Franklin Township for 50 years, the church as well as the school. And I think 50 years speaks in volume to the longevity and the commitment they have contributed to our community here in Franklin. In terms of the diversity element, I'd like to thank the West African community for the event they put on Saturday, January 9th, over at the Holiday Inn. That was fabulous. I think that a statement was made that maybe perhaps the community has not been as recognized as well as it thinks that it should have been, but you can look at the diversity up here on this board and the diversity that will continue to be on the board and which will be representing the township. And I think once we do what I think we're going to do tonight, you will be very, very pleased about the fact that we have been inclusive, we have recognized diversity, we have acknowledged the community, and you certainly should not feel as if you've been left out, because Franklin Township is full of diversity, and we applaud the diversity that we have here, and we will continue to work with everybody in the township, and that includes Democrats, it includes Republicans, unaffiliated, and I know that I don't think I've ever been accused of being bipartisan or nonpartisan or uninclusive during my tenure on the council. So I just want to say that I'm grateful for your support. I'm grateful for the West African community support, your commitment, and everything that you've done here in Franklin Township. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman Francois. Councilwoman Sherman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I, too, am very proud of our police department and certainly have nothing but the highest of regard. And as our chief said, there certainly were a lot of people in the department that would have been eligible for that award. So I'm sure it was a difficult decision. But I do have a question for Mr. Bowman of the Franklin Reporter and Advocate. Mr. Bowman, Man of the Year? Man of the Year? What about the women? How about Person of the Year? Yay. You got a lot of explaining to do.
No, I wasn't going to.
So,
Are you asking for a point of personal preference? I can't do that to Councilwoman
Come
Sherman,
whisper my
you have
ear,
put
Bill.
me in
I'll
a
speak for you.
terrible position because you have called out a member of the public after the public session.
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you in that position, but I certainly, I'd like to hear it.
Okay, this is on the councilwoman now.
In the narrative discussing.
Speak into the mic, give your name and address.
Is this on? Okay. Bill Bowman, editor, Franklin Reporter and Advocate, Somerset. In the narrative, where we discussed Lieutenant Russo's award, we did mention that it is Person of the Year. When there's a man, it's going to be Man of the Year. When there's a woman, it's going to be Woman of the Year. But to say Person of the Year seemed a little too PC. So we decided to go with the gender of the person who is being awarded that particular year. So the umbrella is Person of the Year, but the specific is Man or Woman of the Year.
Okay. You,
I believe the correct phrase now is touche.
all right, well, you're forgiven. I did also want to make a few other comments. The gentleman who spoke about the MetLife situation here in Franklin, that's a corporate decision. They decided they wanted to bring together and consolidate their locations. They have 5 different locations and decided to downsize and consolidate and be more efficient, whatever their business reasons were. There would have been really absolutely no possibility to talk them out of it. There's no money we could possibly have offered them to make them change their mind. So it was not something we would have been able to influence. The 2 other quick things. One has to do, and it's not directed to anybody here in this audience, but it is something I just would like to make people aware of, and that has to do with the parking alongside of the building, which basically says that after 6 o'clock, is it, that the parking is supposed to be the one in front of the building for the various committees and the council members. It makes it pretty difficult for some of us who leave here late at night to have to go out searching for our cars wherever sometimes I walk out the front, my car's in the back because I'm not used to thinking in the back. So we would just ask for everyone's consideration that front row of parking spaces is for the committee people and the council people. And again, we ask that you please respect that for our own, convenience. I don't want to use the word convenience, but it is when you get out sometimes 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, you really don't want to go searching for your car. So the other thing I just wanted to talk about quickly was the destination marketing project that I'm working on, and I did want to bring you up to date. We had a very good meeting this week. We brought in some members of the Somerset County Parks Commission golf management, and they're going to put together proposals for our various hotels so they can offer golf packages to their guests, and that should be a great benefit not only to our golf courses but also to our hotels, because people will stay hopefully over weekends and increase our hotel tax revenues. So as things continue to grow and we come up with new ideas, I would like to share them with you so that you are aware of what this council is doing with regard to economic development. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman Sherman and Deputy Mayor Chase.
Well, I originally didn't have anything to say, but like all of us, I want to respond to Mr. Mettler. I'm sure we're all trying to do our best to improve life in the township. I often have the metaphor for the position of council in terms of the old-fashioned way of grinding grain between an upper and a nether millstone, and in this case the nether millstone representing the services that the township provides for the people of the town, and really necessary services, in particular provision of police protection. And the upper millstone is everyone's desire to have their taxes be as low as possible. And the council has to operate in the very small space between those millstones. So it's what's not easy to try to have some good ongoing programs without spending any more money. And as, with concern to Lieutenant Russo, I'm still teaching one course to graduate students at Rutgers, and back at the beginning of September, which was fairly shortly after what happened in Ferguson, Missouri, and I guess I mentioned that I was also on the council here, and one of the students said, well, could what happened in Ferguson happen in your town? And I said I was confident that it couldn't. And Lieutenant Russo has proven that. We are very grateful to him for his restraint. And of course, I want to again express my thanks to Arnold Vernick, who's actually a professional engineer and environmental engineer, and he's now on the board of the Association of New Jersey Environmental Commission, so he's, serving beyond just the town. And also, I should have introduced, well, he is still here, our new chair, Walter Andrews. Could you stand up, Walter? Who's already, I think, shown signs of pushing the Environmental Commission forward in various ways. One particular thing we've done on the Environmental Commission has been very successful, and really, I think Arnold really took the lead on this, is rain barrel seminars, training people, getting them rain barrels to collect rain from their roof gutters so that it doesn't go into the storm gutters and the storm sewers of the township. It's not as important here as it is in communities which still have combined sewers, and overflow of rain can cause raw sewage to go into particularly the Arthur Kill. But it is a desirable thing to do. I trust we'll have another rain barrel seminar this summer and continue to find more people. And finally, there is an opening on the Environmental Commission for an alternate, because one of our members, Tim Bierce, has moved out of town. So if anyone is interested, come to our meeting. We won't have another meeting until the first Monday in February, but come to our meeting and see what we do, and maybe you'll be interested in joining. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. And now for the mayor's report. First, a council chambers weather report. We started the meeting at about 65 degrees. It's now, well, actually, 2 minutes ago, it was 80 degrees. And now it's
It was
now
not,
it's
it was
come down-
72.
And now it's maybe down to 76. Mr. Manager,
So-
you will
so
hold,
in
Mr.
the-
Manager, you will hold your tongue until your time, and then you can.
It's 72.
I stopped feeling cold.
Okay, seriously though, so just a very brief note on things I will do slightly differently that will change the meeting slightly. I do intend to start at 7 o'clock, as long as we have a quorum, a clerk, and a recording running. I plan to start on time. I will, as you see, try to follow Robert's Rules of Order, and unless council members make it impossible to do so. In Robert's Rules of Order, one thing that I will try to follow is that when we get into council discussions, no one will speak twice, no council member will speak twice until everyone has had the opportunity to speak once. Sometimes we get into a back and forth, and that is not always productive, and this will hopefully prevent that. Again, my congratulations to everyone from everyone who received a commendation tonight, and that concludes my council comments. The next item on the agenda.
Mr. Mayor, Councilman Chase, can I rain barrel?
Yeah.
Can I go to that? Can I go to that, the next one or something like? Yeah, I like that. Thank you.
Okay, very good. We are now on to the township manager's report, where you may correct me as you wish.
I will take great pleasure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Now, just as a commentary on the temperature, yes, in this modern day, I was able to contact on several occasions while I sat down here our Public Works Manager, who's probably watching right now, and it should be a nice, comfortable 72 at this point. It was, in fact, around 68. It went up to about 74 and has now settled in. So hopefully we have it right for the rest of the night. I just have one thing to report. I probably am of most interest to our deputy mayor. The Little Rocky Hill Water Main Project, which is a condition assessment, has begun. It started, I believe, yesterday and should be running through this week. And once the assessment is done, the report will be forthcoming, hopefully within several weeks after the work is done. But they are out there doing the assessment this week, Mr. Deputy Mayor. And Mr. Mayor, that's all I have.
Thanks. I shall alert my most frequent correspondent on Route 27.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. So now we're on to item number 9, council discussion items. A, selection and appointment of third ward council person, unexpired 4-year term. So to explain, when I put my hand on the Torah and said the oath, I became mayor, and I automatically vacated my position as the third ward councilman. What happened then was the Democratic Party, because I'm a Democrat, selected 3 people and provided us with those 3 names. It is now for the council to select from those 3 names someone who will fill that position for the next year. There will be a special election on the regular election day, the same day you vote for president, to pick to elect a person for the third ward position. So the 3 names that we were provided, I don't have before me, but I do happen to know are Alex Karazi, Charles Only Jaka, and Azim Udin. I would just say that this is an embarrassment of riches. These are all wonderful people that have been presented to us. I do not believe I need to take nominations. I believe that is a nomination unto itself, the fact that the Democratic chair provided them, or do I ask for nominations?
For nominations to select for one of the 3.
Okay, so I will open nominations to select for one of the 3.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to nominate Charles Onyejaka.
So we have a nomination for Charles Only Jaka. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I shall close nominations. Madam Clerk, please poll the council.
Deputy Mayor Chase,
Onojaka.
Councilwoman Francois,
Onyejaka.
Mayor Kramer,
Only Jaka.
Councilman Prasad,
Onondaga.
Councilwoman Robinson,
Onyanjaka.
Councilwoman Sherman,
Onondaga.
Councilman Vasanella,
Onejaki.
Councilman Wright.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, will you swear in now Councilman Only Jaka?
I, Charles Onyejaka,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will solemnly support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the state of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
and to the same
and to the government
and to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
council person of Ward 3
council person of Ward 3
of the Township of Franklin,
of the Township of Franklin,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My chief. My chief. My chief. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's an ownership. Thank you. Honorable. Okay. Thank you. Let me make my little speech. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. How about the kids? Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Let me make a little speech, please. Yeah, yes, sir. Oh, thank you.
Congrats again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Babs. Oh, honorable. Thank you. I just have a very speech to make.
Councilman, you
Yes,
may
sir.
want to take your seat
Oh,
and give your speech from there.
Perhaps we should reopen council comments?
Do I have a motion to reopen council comments?
No, before. I thank God today for giving me this privilege and honor to be a councilman. Although I have served as a chairman in Ward 3, also as a member of the planning board in Franklin, but I think this is the zenith of the success. With infinite joy, I'm happy that this history is made today. Not only made today, this is the first time we have democratic elected mayor and a complete democratic council. We all worked very hard for it. I want to use this privilege to thank the mayor, Dr. Fikrima, and the entire Democratic Council. I am proud of my contributions. I know it's not easy to be a councilman, but with the confidence I have on my group, I know it's going to be easy for me and easy for all, and we must triumph. I would like to use this privilege to thank my friends, my relations, who came all the way from Newark, Washington, D.C., and far and near. Most especially for Uday, Masera, and his wife, Dauda. These two young gentlemen helped me to put up this package together. They fought for the West African Community Foundation, the propelling force of our success. I strongly thank them. Dr. Jalo, Ms. Agnes, I will recognize the presence of the following Nigerians who are here and friends. Honorable Sibo, Elliot Sibo, Nze John Ejiofor, Chief Uchi here, Chief Kelechi and Law Lawyer Onyebule, Nze Esi Heme, Chairman Nkwara Aborigines Union. I recognize your presence. The Deputy Mayor of Newark, Ugochukwu. Honorable Deputy, I'm loyal. Honorable Oke Mezie, Chancellor Ejike Ndubisi, Dr. Olabode, Dr. Omalala, Prince Daniel Akaide, Chief Michael Amuzie, Auntie Mabel, I salute her. Dr. Ene, Architect and Mrs. Okodiocha, my family, Jada, I salute. Chief Erimi here, Mrs. Chukuma, Enyo Muche, Chief Emma Odinakachi, Donald. At the same time, I use this privilege to thank Franklin Reporters for giving us the opportunity to read American news in Igbo language. That is very, very exciting and encouraging. Thank you, sir. I have all these privileges. And I use this privilege, finally, to thank everybody that is here. Thank you all for witnessing this memorial success in my life. Thank you all. Bye for now.
Thank you. I'm going to take a slight liberty here and swap items B and the newly added item C. I'm going to make my mayoral appointments to the Library Board and Planning Board at this time. To the library, and I have these written down for you, Madam Clerk. To the Library Board, the 5-year position will be to Agnes Kulibana. The 1-year mayor's representative will be Nicholas A. Campa, and the Planning Board mayor's representative will be Mr. Alex Karazi. Okay, so then item B now, the schedule for the 2006, actually, I'm sorry. Congratulations to all of you people, to everyone, to Charles and to the 3 people I just appointed, and to the 2 people who were named but were not selected for Township Council. We are looking for you to stay involved because you both can add a lot to this town. You have great abilities, and I hope you see this as an honor to have been named. Okay, so now item B on the agenda of 9B, council discussion items, the schedule for the 2016 Board of Health meeting. The Township Council is the town Board of Health, and we are required at least 1 meeting a year. which we tend to hold in the first meeting, just prior to the first council meeting in June at 6 o'clock, with the council meeting, of course, starting at 7. Does anyone have comment on that and their availability?
Are we looking at, Mr. Mayor, are we looking at the date of June 7th? Is that the date? Okay. No, June 14th. June 14th. This- Is that the right date?
14th is the second Tuesday, Madam Clerk?
Okay.
Here, the 7th is a primary.
It is, oh,
Yeah.
it is, okay, okay.
Yes,
7th is
14th is
primary.
the first council meeting.
So we're talking about 6 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on the 14th
Yes, ma'am.
of June.
I would need a motion if that's okay.
Motion for June 14th for the Board of Health meeting at 6 PM.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Madam Clerk, poll the council.
Deputy Mayor Chase?
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman I apologize, Oni Jaka?
Yes.
Councilman Prasad?
Yes.
Councilwoman Robinson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Don't apologize, Madam Clerk. It took me about a year.
I'll have it right by the end of the meeting.
Okay, we're now on to item number 10, approval of the minutes. Let's see, there's formal stuff I'm supposed to read with that. The following minutes are hereby presented for approval by the Township Council. Township Council Work Session, regular meeting, December 8th, 2015, 7 p.m. Do we have a motion?
Motion
moved.
for approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Deputy Mayor Chase?
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Oni Jaka?
Yes.
Councilman Prasad?
Yes.
Councilwoman Robinson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman?
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Next item, approval of the warrants. We have none. Item
There's no comment about that, Mr. Mayor?
No comment that there's no warrants to pay, no bills to pay?
We spent no money, I guess, that we have
We
no
spent
bills to
No money,
pay.
except we did it last week. Item number 12, public hearing and adoption of ordinances on second reading. We have none, so no new laws are being passed, but ordinance on introduction and first reading, ordinance number 4127-16, an ordinance authorizing the private sale of township-owned land located in Block 93, lots 38 through 39 and 40 through 41, Delmonico Avenue in the Township of Franklin, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, Raritan Valley Habitat for Humanity Incorporated. The foregoing ordinance is presented to the Township Council for adoption on first reading, posting, publication in accordance with law, and public hearing and final adoption on Tuesday, January 26, 2016, at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Complex. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a question. Where exactly on Delmonico?
So hang on, we need to have, Robert's rules, we need a motion and a second. Do we have a
Seconded.
motion?
I didn't understand.
I moved.
I seconded.
Okay, so now it's moved and seconded. Discussion.
Where exactly on Delmonico is this property?
I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, without me bringing up a map, I can't tell you. Delmonico's not that long a street, and there's two vacant lots. One, and this is the second lot on Delmonico that we're giving to Habitat for Humanity. There's two empty building lots next to each other. Given the number that's listed here, I'd say it's probably right about in the middle, knowing how the numbers run on Delmonico.
I see the units.
My notes are the same. It's the only one that I don't have an address for.
Is it
But
full-
I think you're right, Bob. I think it's the second one.
This is the second, yeah. So if you notice, actually, on the agenda, There are two references to Delmonico and Habitat for Humanity. One is the ordinance, and then it's also on the consent agenda, and I'm just scrolling through it, if you bear with me. This is lots 38 and 39 and 40 and 41. This is actually both. This creates two building lots.
Item L.
L, thank you, Mr. Mayor. And that's also authorizing the amendment to the developers agreements for lots 38 and 39. So we're adding 38 and 39 to the developers agreement with Habitat for Humanity, thus creating two for this ordinance where they'll be able to build two houses on Delmonico.
2 units?
Mm-hmm. 2 units, correct.
It's my time.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, by 2 units, you mean?
2 houses.
2 houses. 2 by 2 or just one single?
Single family, two single-family homes.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Madam Clerk, please poll the council.
Deputy Mayor Chase.
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois.
Yes.
Mayor Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Oni Chaka.
Yes.
Councilman Prasad.
Yes.
Councilwoman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman.
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella.
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Okay.
And Councilwoman Robinson, just to show you that technology really is good. So I told you that Mr. Hauk, our Public Works Manager, was watching on TV, and that's how he knew to change the temperature. Well, he also knows where those lots are. They're behind the Armory, so that's where they are on Delmonico. If that's of any help to you, he just sent me a text. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl. Okay, so we are now on to the consent agenda. Do we have a motion on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion item on any items on the consent agenda? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Deputy Mayor Chase.
Yes.
Councilwoman Francois.
Yes.
Mayor Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Oni Chaka.
Yes.
Councilman Prasad.
Yes.
Councilwoman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman.
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella.
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Thank you. We have no items. Item number 15 is resolutions to be voted on separately. We have none. Item number 16, 2016 boards, committees, and commissioned. Did we have any appointments?
Mayor,
Councilman
like-
Vasanella.
I'd like to nominate Mustafa Manzareh for the unexpired term that Charles Ananjaka was serving and who's now a council member, because that seat would be vacated, right?
The planning board one?
The planning board, I'm sorry, the planning board.
Yes.
Yes.
So that is a nomination for one planning board seat that was automatically vacated when Councilman Only-Jaka took the oath. Are there any other nominations for that seat? Hearing none,
That's not.
nominations are closed. Are there any nominations for any other positions?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I would like to recommend our Man of the Year, Lieutenant Russo, for the Recreation Advisory Committee, and also Lewis Hurd to that Recreation Advisory Board, because we had the 2 positions we had to fill.
Okay, so those are 2 positions for the Recreation Advisory Board. Are there any other nominations for those positions? Hearing none, I'll close nominations for those. Do we have any other nominations? Okay, there are none. How,
By acclamation.
right, so are there any objections to voting for these all in one ballot? Hearing no objections, Madam Clerk, a yes would be for all of them. A no would be, I guess, against all of them, or people could name them separately.
Deputy Mayor Chase.
Aye.
Councilwoman Francois.
Yes.
Mayor Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Oni Chaka.
Yes.
Councilman Prasad.
Yes.
Councilwoman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sherman.
Yes.
Councilman Vasanella.
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Excellent. We are on to the last item and that, well, second to last item, I guess, the executive session. This is, whenever we go into executive session, there are a limited number of reasons why we can do so. One of them is if we are talking about property acquisition or any type of negotiation. Executive session, Resolution 16-41, authorize executive session, acquisition of property negotiation, Route 27, Consolata Properties is presented to the Township Council for adoption. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Aye.
Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. We're now going into executive session. Coming out of executive session, there will be no further actions by the council. Therefore, we will stop taping at this time. We will only come out to close the meeting. This ends the meeting for tonight. Be well, Franklin.